thegearnetwork.com.
Oh my goodness. We are here, finally podcasting again.
Right?
It only feels like we've done this, well, this will now be the second time in the month of February. Mm-hmm. It's been kind of a busy month, hasn't it?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, a lot going on.
A lot going on behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. But guess what, Dawn? And guess what, listeners? It's all done. All the crap that was going on is now in the past, and we have nothing but good times to look forward to. Don't you just love it? Don't you love this song?
No.
How could you not love the theme to Good Times?
Nobody loves the theme to Good Times.
Everybody loves the theme to Good Times. I love it.
Everybody.
I bet you the listeners are laughing.
Keeping your head above water, making a way when you can.
Temporary layoffs, good times, easy credit rip-offs. Come on, Dawn. Scratching and surviving.
I'm sorry.
Hanging in a child line. Ain't we lucky we got them like this? I'll tell you what, you know what else? You know what else spells good times?
I know what, John.
The Gear Network app, ladies and gentlemen. We've got it back up and running. It is App Push 2015. You know what? You know what I just thought of?
What?
The app brings along good times.
It does.
It's a nice, slower Vegas version here in the end here. Yes, that's right. 2 versions of the Good Times themes here on Get Ready America. All right. As Richard Cheese sings us Good Times right now, let me just remind you to go to thegearnetwork.com on your computer or your mobile device. Click on the Gear Network app tab and download it. It's simple, easy, breezy, Japanesey, Dawn. And I can tell you what, you can listen to all the Gear Network podcasts, including all of the ones that are discontinued, aka Talking Wrestling. Everything is archived. It is on there for you. Blogs, Amazon, you name it, it's on there. Anything we do on Gear, it is on that app. Dawn, you have it on your device. I have it on mine. Ryan Wolf has it on his. There's a Gear Network chat. You can go on there. It's like a Facebook wall, but it's specific for Gear. And I look at it maybe once every 3 days, but get it, download it. Apple people, which, by the way, Dawn is an Apple person now. Get you on your iPad.
Okay, I have a couple Apple devices. I'm a Samsung girl.
Oh, I'm a Samsung guy.
Through.
I just got the Note Edge. I love it. I will have a Note Edge reviewed later on, but you got the iPad. I want an iPad. I'm going to end up getting one eventually, but, it's good. But Apple, because we have our Apple devices here, we know how you Apple geeks feel. We'll get you the app. It's just a matter of time. Dawn, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready to rock and roll?
I just said I'm ready.
Are you ready?
John, I'm ready.
Cue the music!
Stop.
This is a Gear Network production.
It will not be only Morgan Freeman who will be reading the A-Rod letter, but that's where we will begin. Morgan Freeman, the stage is yours.
To the fans, I take full responsibility for the mistakes that led to my suspension for the 2014 season. I regret that my actions made the situation worse than it needed to be. To Major League Baseball, the Yankees, the Steinbrenner family, the Players Association, and you, the fans, I can only say, I'm sorry. I accept the fact that many of you will not believe my apology or anything that I say at this point. Understand why, and that's on me. It was gracious of the Yankees to offer me the use of Yankee Stadium for this apology. But I decided the next time I'm in a Yankee Stadium, I should be in pinstripes doing my job.
John Gruden.
I'll tell you what, man, I served the longest suspension in the history of the league for PED use. The commissioner has said the matter is over. The Players Association had said the same. The Yankees have said the next step is to play baseball, man. I'm ready to put this chapter behind me and play some ball.
Chris Berman.
Yeah, this game has been my single biggest passion since I was a teenager. When I go to spring training, I'll do everything I can to be the best player and teammate possible for the spot.
on the Yankees, and we could help us with this sincerely, Alex.
Oh, that's magnificent.
Coming to you live from the Gear Network studios in Rochester, New York, and broadcast worldwide on GearNetwork.com. This is Get Ready America.
Don, I'll tell you, if Morgan Freeman or Frank Caliendo, reading as Morgan Freeman, reads or says anything, I am absolutely all in. I will believe it. That is the only way that I would buy Alex Rodriguez's apologies if it were read in Morgan Freeman's voice in its entirety. Although the John Gruden and Chris Berman thing was pretty funny at the end, if you know all the ESPN personalities, which you don't, but I do, and a lot of people that listen do, so I'm sure they enjoyed it. But that was courtesy of ESPN Radio's Mike and Mike in the Morning. That was pretty funny.
Yep.
From coast to coast, continent to continent, and border to border, from China to Japan, to Canada, to the United States, to wherever you may be listening, this is GearNetwork.com. This is Get Ready America. Hello, everyone. I am John Samino, the JC to JCDC, and alongside to my left is my new Apple iPad, honey, the DC to JCDC, Mrs. Dawn Samino. Go ahead and say hello, Dawn.
Hi.
And since we mentioned the app, we'll mention Amazon, the podcast as well, sponsored by our Amazon page. Visit GearNetwork.com/Amazon or go into the Gear Network app and click on the Amazon button in the app. It is easy, it is breezy, and like I said earlier, Dawn, it is Japanesey.
What makes it breezy and Japanesey?
I have no idea, but if you could just please speak up just a little bit.
Though.
There you go. It's
well,
easy.
Maybe if this wasn't running in the background.
I don't know what you're talking
right.
about. Neither do they. But anyways, go there. As we said before, it helps us out. Amazon Prime will get you a free 30-day trial of that. Includes Prime Music, free 2-day shipping, access to over 40,000 pieces of video. Yes, you can get Bubble Guppies for your kids because, you know, Season 1 of that is free with Prime members. So, of course, we have to watch The Moon Rocks at least 17 times a day. We do. Not the one that actually wants to quote-unquote watch it.
Right.
Gianna. Daddy loves you. All right. Moving on to the first topic here, we're going to talk a little New York Yankees. I alluded to the New York Yankees on the most recent edition of the Better Live Than Dead podcast, episode 31, I should say, because this may be released very well after episode 32 comes out. But episode 31, I filled in for Perez, who was ill, and I discussed at length the New York Yankees. Dawn, you're a Yankees fan, so you may have an idea of what I'm talking about when I mention the retired numbers. Mm-hmm. Now, this season, they're going to be retiring the numbers of Bernie Williams, Jorge Posada, and Andy Pettitte. I'm pretty sure in a few podcasts ago, I don't know if it was episode 14, maybe it might have been last one, but we talked about Andy Pettitte. We talked about, you know, how when he came clean with his PED use, he kind of did the right thing, apologized. It was going to kind of omit him from the Hall of Fame. You said you thought it was sad. I mentioned that he's probably going to get his number retired and a plaque in Monument Park. Mm-hmm. 2 weeks later, there it is. Right. I was good with that. I was absolutely good with that. Andy Pettitte was a large contributor to it. Now, to the 5 Yankees championships. And I am not saying that Bernie Williams or Jorge Posada even weren't. But when you add those two numbers to Andy Pettitte's number, and then add those 3 numbers to the amount of already retired numbers that the Yankees have, they are now going to have 20 retired numbers.
Right. I mean, the problem is, like, you're going to get to a point where what numbers are you going to use? Are we going to have triple-digit numbers that we're giving out to people eventually? I mean,
right. And I mean,
obviously it's not there yet, but I'm just saying it should be something that's more symbolic. It should be few and far between that it happens.
Right. And Ryan made mention of how other teams, specifically the Red Sox, because that's who he follows, but the Red Sox have certain criteria themselves for their numbers to be retired, which is you have to be with the team for 10 years. You have to be in the Baseball Hall of Fame, and I don't know. Go listen to episode 31 of Better Live Than Dead. You'll find out because he said Red Sox. But take a look at the list of retired numbers. You will never again, ever, see a single-digit Yankees number because Derek Jeter's is not officially retired, but you know that's going to happen. They can't. For God's sakes, they can't retire Billy Martin's number and not retire Derek Jeter's, for Christ's sakes. But, 1 through 10. The number 8's retired twice, by the way, for both Yogi Berra and Bill Dickey. But 1 through 10 is retired. Then you have number 15 for Thurman Munson, 16, Whitey Ford, which Thurman Munson absolutely deserved his number retired. Number 16, Whitey Ford, chairman of the board. I don't know that he deserved it. Well, actually, you know what? If I'm not mistaken, he threw the only perfect game in World Series history. So I could see why they might have done that. Don Mattingly, my favorite baseball player growing up. I don't necessarily know that he needed his number retired, maybe just not out of circulation, but I mean, all these numbers that are retired, I mean, Elston Howard, Casey Stengel, Reggie Jackson. Reggie Jackson played for the Yankees for 5 seasons. Mr. October, Mr. November's Derek Jeter, Mr. October, okay? But 5 seasons as a New York Yankee, they retired as number 44. I mean, that's Ron Guidry, 49. It goes on and on and on with that. And now you're adding 3 more numbers to the mix. So my question, I guess, to you as someone who maybe who doesn't follow sports as passionately, let's say, as I do, but kind of knows enough about the Yankees to know what's going on. What is the difference between retiring the number and Monument Park? Why wouldn't they just make Monument Park, which is essentially the Yankees Hall of Fame, for those people, for the Reggie Jacksons? Honor them there for their contributions and save your retirement numbers for the Jorge Posadas, who played his entire career there.
Right, the Derek
Jeters.
Right.
I'll give you Joe Torre because he took the Yankees to 6 World Series, winning 4 of them. So,
but I mean, you're exactly right. That's the problem. Is Monument Park is what they should be using as opposed to retiring numbers, which really should be something that is only done for those standout players who did play a career with them, who,
transcended even.
Yeah.
I mean, Derek Jeter, retiring Derek Jeter's number, you have to. The man has broken every Yankees record. He's got more hits than Ruth. He's got, he's Derek Jeter.
I mean, really, he's the glue that held the team together, really. I mean, he truly was the captain, and he deserves it, but they don't all deserve it. And I'm not saying that they aren't good players,
right?
That they didn't do something that benefited the Yankees, but that doesn't mean that they raised up so high that they deserve to have their number retired.
Right. Like, I mean, I look at, and I keep going back to this, number 1, New York's number 1, Billy Martin. Everybody knows Billy Martin. He was fired by George Steinbrenner 4 or 5 times or whatever in the 70s and 80s, took the Yankees to a couple championships, whatever. Loved being a Yankee, absolutely epitomized, everything it was to be a Yankee, especially in that era where it was the Bronx Zoo. But as a player, he played second base for the Yankees. He wasn't good. He wasn't good. He was traded. And he ultimately became the manager there. But I just think that the Steinbrenner family has worn down the significance of the retired number. So, I mean, to say that, my number is being retired by the New York Yankees, that's almost the equivalent of saying, hey, I was the WWE hardcore champion when it was the 24/7 rules, and it was changing hands like 17 times a night on Raw back in the Attitude Era. It just waters. It's like so.
Right. It's like, where's the cutoff? I mean,
right. There has to be a cutoff. You retire Jeter. You retire Pettit. I'll give you Pettit. He's got a lot of the pitching records there for the Yankees. Pitched 15 out of his 18 seasons in New York. Tough thing to do. Jorge, give it to, retire him. If Jeter was not around, Jorge would have been the captain. Absolutely would have been the captain. He was tough. He kept the locker room in check. And that was him. That was what he did. Obviously, Mariano Rivera, that's a no-brainer. I mean, obviously, the core four would have their numbers retired, should have their numbers retired. Bernie Williams, I liked Bernie. Burn, baby, burn. He's a Hall of Very Gooder. You know what I mean? He's not a Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Very Good. He would belong there. He'd be a first ballot into there. He's not a Hall of Fame player. He was a good player for what he was worth. He was really the first of the Yankees farm system people to come up, and then came Jeter, and then but Bernie retired a long time ago. Right, but I mean, that's what Monument Park's for. Exactly. Monument Park is for the, let's give things to those who contributed to the Yankees' success. Exactly. That's what that is. That's not the top, the very top of the crop, I guess. It's so watered down now. Right. It's just, I hate the Red Sox. I'm sorry. I hate them. But, if that's the way they do it, I got to give it to them, because at least that's something. It still means something to be retired there. Right. Let me ask you this before we go to commercial here. Alex Rodriguez, he going to get a plaque in Monument Park and his number retired? Who knows? Maybe if he does good this season. Oh God, that would be the worst. That would drive me. That would drive me to being a Mets fan. It really would. I'm telling you this right now, and I'm going on record and say this: the Yankees honor Alex Rodriguez with a number retirement or a plaque in Monument Park. I am becoming a Mets fan. Okay, well, I can't do that, so what I'll do is I'll just stop liking that altogether, and I will just dedicate myself to the Red Wings. Okay, that's it. Fair enough. And maybe the Twins. Well, fair enough. All right. Well, there goes the baseball talk. And when we come back, we'll talk tech devices. Dawn's got her Apple iPad now, and I have my Samsung Galaxy Note Edge. It feels so great to have a Note device. So great. I'm rubbing it in because Ryan Wolf wants... Is it like retired numbers great or like Monument Park great? Yankee retired number or Red Sox retired number? Okay. Ryan Wolf wants one so bad, and I'm just rubbing it in because he don't have one. Okay, good talk, Don. We will return in a moment.
You're listening to Get Ready America on the Gear Radio Network.
Okay, listeners, so you hear us talking all the time about visiting the website for all of the podcast or Amazon shopping needs, but you are often not on your desktop to bring up the browser and visit. You ask us for a better way to take gear with you, and now we have that for you. Introducing the Gear Network app. Take the power of the Gear Network with you wherever you go. Listen or download all Gear Network programming, including Better Live Than Dead, Get Ready America, The JC Money Show Uncensored, Talking Wrestling, and others. You can also shop Amazon, post on our wall, follow our favorite local sports teams, and access all our social network profiles and so much more. And best of all, it's free. Zip, zilch, cost you nada. Visit GearNetwork.com on your phone's browser and click on the banner to download the app to your Android device. iOS people, don't fret. Yours is coming soon. Give it a download and take us with you wherever, okay? Okay, that's GearNetwork.com's app through GearNetwork.com.
Just watch.
Hi, Gear Network listeners. The February song of the month was selected by Better Live Than Dead's Ryan Wolf. It is Uptown Funk by Mark Ronson featuring Bruno Mars. And if you like this song, you can purchase it through our Gear Network link from both Amazon and iTunes. Right now, if you head to GearNetwork.com, you can sign up for a free 30-day trial of Amazon Prime, which includes Prime Music. You'll be able to listen to this and other songs from Amazon Music's vast collection of songs as often as you would like. Or if you just want to download the song, you can purchase it for $1.29 on both Amazon and iTunes right from our website. Your purchase continues to support our free programming. Remember, that is GearNetwork.com, powered by Amazon and iTunes.
From the Gear Network studios, once again, here's John and Dawn.
Dawn, that was a tremendous commercial you did for the song of the month. You sounded just so brilliant. Your voice, you were just heavenly.
heavenly.
It was like angels playing the harp.
Yeah, that's what you always say about me.
Or something like
Angel.
that. All right, welcome back, everybody, to KeerNetwork.com to Get Ready America. And it's tech time, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to talk some mobile devices, yes. So, I got the Samsung Galaxy Note Edge. I've had my eye on this phone, and I will say there was a person, a very higher up person, who directed a now former place of employment that had this phone as a test device, and I saw him toying around with it. I heard a little bit about it. I thought it was weird because of the edge, the actual fold over on the screen. So he shows me this phone, and I take a look at it, and I actually enjoy it. I like how the edge now, it actually, you can scroll with your finger, and it saves your favorite things in there, so that way you don't have to have your menu like right there on the screen. I like it. I'm sorry. I think it's cool.
Because it's so inconvenient to have your menu on the screen.
Right. I like to look at the picture that I have saved on the screen of our daughters, and I don't want the damn Chrome app thing over one of their faces.
No, right. And I mean, you can't just move it to a different area of the
Why do you
screen.
gotta be so rude? Don't you know I'm human too? Why do you gotta be so rude? I married you anyways. I love it though, because I got the S Pen back, honey, and it's awesome, and it's great, and it shows me, it allows me to I can take the S Pen out, and I can take a screen cap and draw things on it, right?
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
I took a screen cap today of our Spreaker count followers. Did you know, Dawn, that we are well over, we are into the 4,000s as far as follower count goes in Spreaker. Just Spreaker alone. And not to mention, we're almost at 9,000 plays on Spreaker alone. Not factoring in iTunes. Because we're on iTunes, we got a new subscriber to iTunes.
We do.
And who would that be?
Me.
Yeah! I just subscribe.
Through iTunes?
Through iTunes on what?
On my iPad?
Your iPad.
We already talked about this iPad.
Well, you know what we did talk about? We talked about how the iPad brings you good times. Cue the music. Yes, you're getting good times again, ladies and gentlemen. So don't worry, Dawn. I'll make sure that we get the Gear Network app for you on your iPad. But do you actually like the iPad?
So far, I do. I mean, I've only had it for like a few hours, right? So,
but Apple people write like life stories, like novels, on their new Apple devices that they wait 5 days beforehand to get into the store to get. They have that done in a couple hours. Obviously, you're not an Apple geek, so you're not going to be capable of doing that. But
hey, don't question my capabilities. If I want to write my life story on this thing, I'm gonna do it.
All right,
I'll probably use my computer because I think it's easier, but I could if I wanted to. I'm fully capable of being able to write on this.
But you're not one of these Apple people that think that Apple is the greatest thing since an egg went on. Because you were here when
I like apples.
Yes, apples are good. But I mean, I had the iPhone for like 5 minutes, and
one of the many devices that John just had to have.
Yes, indeed.
Just 10 a year.
Well, here's the thing. When my Note 2 died, I didn't know where to go. I was like, oh my God, because I love that thing.
Cue the sad violins. Oh, you didn't know where to go?
My Note 2, I had that thing. I ran that thing till I could, as far as I could. Then I decided to go crazy and just try a Windows phone.
Can we just say, because you owe this to me, I told John over and over, because he said multiple times, I think I want to try an iPhone, and I said, first off, I'm not buying you an iPhone, because I bought him a lot of phones for presents. I'm not buying you an iPhone. You're going to get it, and you are going to hate it, and then you are going to want a different device. Did I not say that? Can you just say you told me so?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is a Gear Network first. I will admit to Dawn that she was right. I was wrong. I wanted to see what the hoopla was about with the iPhone, because anybody that has an iPhone swears by it. And for what it was worth, the only thing that I liked on the iPhone was the podcast app. That was the only thing I liked about it. Otherwise, everything like that. It was my iPod with talking capabilities, but I had to pay for all the apps that I had for free on Android. So it was, and plus, just the Samsung, I'm sorry, Ash, you Apple blowhard douchebag, you. The Samsung device is far superior than any Apple iPhone I've ever seen.
So out of all the Apple users you know and diehard Apple fans we know, you pick Ash to talk about on the show.
Listen, you should see the posts that he puts on there about Apple and Samsung. He
Enjoy your 30 seconds, 10 seconds, whatever it was of fame on our show, because that's the last time you're getting a mention.
On Get Ready America. You might get on the JC Money Show uncensored, though. Okay.
I mean, really, all the fans we know, that's who you pick. Not your brother.
My brother has actually just backed off with the whole iPod, or rather iPhone.
Because you haven't asked. If you asked him, I'm sure you'd hear all about it.
Maybe.
Okay, let's move it on.
I don't know. So, what's up, Dawn?
What's up?
I don't know. I got nothing.
Dude.
We'll just head into a commercial.
Good idea.
We'll come back. We'll do your news, because this is, we're on the fly here with Get Ready America, but we'll do what we can, right? Good times.
Cue the music.
Oh, I'll cue the music. Good times. All right. When we come back, we will have Dawn's news you may or may not be able to use. This is Get Ready America right here on the Gear Radio Network.
You're listening to Get Ready America on the Gear Radio Network.
Hey, Dawn, how's it going?
Living the dream. I'm actually just getting ready to do this commercial.
Oh, you mean the commercial where I tell our listeners to tune into Gear Network every week to listen to our show, Get Ready America? That one?
Yeah, John, that's the one.
They can also listen to us talk about news, sports, whatever's on our minds, that.
And a little what's on our listeners' minds, but they're just too nice to say it.
Well, that, Dawn, is a real humdinger.
Humdinger.
Come join us this and every week for Get Ready America exclusively on the Gear Radio Network.
And the Gear Network app.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I am Ryan Wolf.
it's Mr. Perez.
And I have a question for you, Perez.
What's your question?
Do you like to listen to people talk about sports?
No. Of course I like sports and listening to people talk about sports.
Well, guess what? I have the perfect solution for you.
Solution for me?
There's a podcast
Okay.
on this very network.
This network?
Every single week you can hear it.
Really?
New content, latest and breaking news. We talk about baseball, football, hockey, basketball, soccer, UFC, whatever you want to talk about.
So sports in general.
They talk about sports in general. You got
Okay.
it.
I like
you
it.
know the dictionary.
I like
very,
it.
Very proud of you.
Thank you.
I must say, tune in. We are better live than dead.
You're not.
Every single week. You're not going to want to miss it. Exclusively here on the Gear Radio Network.
Hey, podcast listeners, thanks for listening to this podcast here on the Gear Radio Network. And if you are on social networking, as many of you are, you can follow us, all the Gear Network happenings, on various platforms, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at GERE Network. Search Gear Network. You can follow myself, John Cimino, a.k.a. JC Money, at the JC Money on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagrams. You can follow Ryan Wolf, the host of Better Live Than Dead, at Wolf, SHC, WOLFE, SHC, as well as the Better Live Than Dead podcast on Facebook. Search Better Live Than Dead. Mr. LG Perez, that's right, the co-host of Better Live Than Dead. Mr. Perez, you can follow on virtually every social networking platform known to man using at Mr. LG Perez. And of course, you can follow all of our happenings, all of our podcasts, and do your Amazon shopping on GearNetwork.com.
This podcast is sponsored by GearNetwork.com/Amazon. Help keep our podcast free. Stop through Amazon. We thank you. Good night, now.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Gear Radio Network. And before we go ahead and get into Dawn's news we may or may not be able to use, I would like to send a quick shout out to our good buddy, handsome Randy Burton, over at Metal Mountain. He always gives us a plug, so let's give him a plug. Check him out. He is at Metal Mountain. We'll throw the links up there again. Good stuff if you like heavy metal music. And keep doing what you're doing, handsome Randy. And hello, Canada.
Hi, Canada.
Thank you, Dawn, for saying hello to Canada. And now we have Dawn's news we may or may not be able to use. Dawn, the stage is yours.
So, we grew up in, I don't know, 80s, 90s, however old you are. But who doesn't...
25.
Who doesn't know Vanilla Ice, right?
Right.
Have you wondered what's he been up to lately?
Oh, you know
right?
what? That's a good segue. Let me cue his most famous song right now, right?
Right.
Ice Ice Baby, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so we know that a lot of people know he has this home improvement show on TV now.
Yeah, that's still very awkward to see when I see it. It's just really weird to see him in a role like that.
Right. But in case you wondered what he's been up to recently, he was actually recently arrested.
Oh, there it is.
Charged with burglary of a residence and grand theft because he broke into the house next door to one that he was rehabbing and took furniture and a pool heater and bikes and some other items. So
is that going to make the show?
I don't know, but apparently being the host of your own home improvement show doesn't give you enough money to be able to afford to buy those things yourself. He has to rob the house next door. So.
It's amazing to me, like, how stupid can people get? Like, does he think that he's not going to get caught because he's Rip Van Winkle or whatever the hell his real name is?
It's Robert Van Winkle.
Whatever.
But John, where do you think that story comes from?
Oh boy, please tell me it's from the Home Office?
Oh, it's Florida.
Oh, thank you, Florida. God, you know what? Maybe it's the water. Maybe it's the water.
The well water.
The well water or something. I don't know. When Luke Harper was living in Florida, I ran into him last year at an Amherst game, and I noticed how jacked he is now, as opposed to back when I wrestled him and he was tall but lanky. And he joked, he's like, "Yeah, it's something in the Florida water. I don't know what it is, but it's a well known fact. Florida does something to people, and yeah, okay. Rob Van Winkle, whatever your name is, you idiot."
So next, everybody has I shouldn't say everybody. I have a crazy ex. You've had a crazy ex.
Several.
So I think most people have probably had a crazy ex to some level, right?
Yes.
But this I don't want to say takes it to a new level because, we won't get into, but there's some craziness going. But anyway,
okay.
So this woman decides to sneak into her ex-boyfriend's house, but she can't get in through the door, so she climbs up and goes down the chimney, but she got stuck. So the ex-boyfriend...
Well, it worked for Santa Claus.
The ex-boyfriend woke up to, yelling and discovered somebody in his chimney, and it was his ex-girlfriend.
Jesus Christ. Why? Really?
So if you have a really, really crazy ex, you might want to put an alarm on your chimney, too.
Oh, Lord. Just, you know what? Thank God. It's times like this, I look at my wood-burning stove and say, thank God that thing is locked.
Then we have...
I guess it gives the meaning to the phrase "ho ho ho." And she's a hoe, and she's.
Nobody said she's a hoe.
I said she's a hoe. F her.
Wow, somebody's got some hate built up.
I got plenty of hate built up.
So next we take it to a woman gets revenge on a couple who moved into what was her dream home, but they won the bid for it when they were kind of in a bidding war.
Oh God.
So rather than just moving on, as most people would, and finding another house.
Right, because that's what normal people do.
But no. She took it to the next level and had this whole revenge plot. So she started doing all this crazy stuff to them to try to get them to move out.
Get out!
She started first, she mailed a bunch of adult diapers to the house. It says $1,000 worth. Then she sent out invitations, like a mass invitation online to a New Year's Eve party to their house. So people showed up for the New Year's Eve party to this couple's house. Then at Valentine's Day, she sent out Valentine cards to all of the female neighbors that were married, signed by the husband, the homeowner's husband. And apparently none of those were bad enough. It couldn't get the couple to move out. So she took it to the next level and went online and posted a sex ad. As the wife, as the homeowner, the wife, saying that she wanted a man to come into her house and force their way in and rape her. That this was her, kind of
that just kind of
role play.
That kind of went to like
now
not being funny.
Now it takes it to just being crazy.
Right.
So yeah. So the first man who came, the door was locked. He couldn't get in. The second man, thankfully, the husband was home and stopped him, and they ended up catching this woman. But I mean, psycho, right? I mean, it's a how.
I mean, for as much time and effort and energy and, I mean, $1,000 worth of adult diapers, as much time, effort, energy, and finances as she put into trying to get them to move, God damn it, woman, go put a down payment on something else.
Right, but obviously, that's just crazy, right?
That's absolutely crazy. I mean, especially the ad. I don't know what's crazier, the fact that she put in the ad or the fact that there were guys that saw that ad and was like, hell yeah, let's go. Because I'll tell you this, if anybody did anything like that, I don't know if that told the whole story about what the husband did, if the husband, because I'm sure the husband probably was not very happy and made some threats and probably took some swings. I would be on that boat right there. And then, what about you? Would you, if some crazy chick was mad at you for whatever reason, we moved into the house, or you got a spot on a podcast, or you got the car she wanted, or whatever, and started doing that to you, knowing you the way I know you, I would think that you would probably go and put a stop to it yourself.
Yeah, that's safe to say.
And it doesn't say in there whether or not the chick tried to do that?
I mean, it shows a picture of the couple, and I doubt it.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, so the next one we touched a little bit on earlier, and it has to do with Alex Rodriguez.
Oh, boy.
Yep, made his first appearance.
Oh, great. We're going to win the World Series.
But it actually says that the crowd cheered him when he came out.
That's because they're in Tampa.
Well, okay, right. So that's
Tampa
kind of
is where?
In Florida.
Thank you, Florida.
So that's kind of bringing me to the overall point of this, is I thought it was funny because this is on ESPN. I found this, and they're talking about, well, maybe he's going to have a successful year. He's going to come back. He's going to play well, and the Yankees fans are going to rally around him and forgive him, right?
Oh, of course. Everybody loves a comeback story.
The whole time I'm reading this, I'm thinking, they're in Florida. He's not in New York. He is not in front of a New York crowd. And even though he might be playing for Yankees fans in Florida, that is not a New York crowd. No,
absolutely not. No matter, I mean, your Floridians that are there supporting the Yankees, they're Yankees fans, but they're Floridians that support the Yankees. They obviously don't support the Rays, because the Rays are up in the air, and, I'm predicting they'll be the Montreal Expos in a few years, but they're not New Yorkers. They're not, hey, what's going there? What's going on? Going by, say, Soprano, man, They're not like those type of New Yorkers. It's New York, New Jersey. It's not. It's Florida. You're down south. You're,
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, most Yankees fans didn't love A-Rod before all of this happened.
I was never big on A-Rod. I really was not. I when it was between him and the Red Sox, the Yankees and the Red Sox that were trying to trade for him, Red Sox people were like, I kind of hope he goes to the Yankees. And the Yankees people were kind of like, I kind of hope he goes to the Red Sox. And then the Yankees got him, and Red Sox fans are like, yeah! And Yankees fans are like, Jesus. Here we go.
That seems to happen with a lot of the players that the Jets end up with, too.
Yeah, the Jets are just a royal mess. Although now Mel Kiper's predicting that Marcus Mariota will in fact fall to number 6 and the Jets will pick him up, that would be great news if this were 5 months ago when Marcus Mariota was the best quarterback coming out of the draft, and then all of a sudden now he's got his flaws and they don't know if he's going to be a good NFL player. But, whatever. That's the Jets for you. Football season's over, Dawn. Please don't bring me back with that, please.
So the last story, because I always have to find something of this nature.
Okay. Vajankle?
Not quite.
Okay.
But a woman who is a baker and an MD, PhD student.
Okay.
has created something new in the kitchen. And what she's created is a new way to make yogurt. Do you see where I'm going with this, Chef?
Oh, God.
Yogurt has a lot of, like, cultures, like healthy bacteria. So they recommend that you eat it because probiotics and whatnot, right?
Okay.
Well, what better place? What better place to get healthy bacteria from than your vagina, which is full of healthy bacteria?
Chock full of healthy minerals.
I mean, there's nothing.
I just gotta say, Dawn, when it comes to these stories, the buildup and the anticipation that you have, that you bring, the unscripted buildup and just the way you draw not only the listeners, but you draw me into it, is simply amazing. I have to commend you on that.
Thanks.
Okay, good. Continue, please.
So she stated that her vagina, well, everybody's, but, you know, she used hers. So hers, hopefully, I mean, she tested it to be STD-free. I don't know, but her vagina is home to tons of healthy microorganisms that produce lactic acid. So...
Were those tons of healthy organisms be tons of doctors that she works with?
So, you know, you might be curious, how did she collect this, right? I mean, I know I was when I read it. I had to know.
Yes, please.
So the collection method that she used was done with a wooden spoon.
Claptrap?
I'm kind of curious how big of a wooden spoon, because the wooden spoons I use for cooking are kind of sizable. I don't know that I'd want to shove one up there and scrape around, but I don't know. So she used a wooden spoon. She tested it. She actually compared them. So she had a bowl of regular plain yogurt, a bowl of milk with nothing added, and then a third batch with her healthy bacteria in it. And she left it sit overnight to see what would happen. And she actually says that the one that she put her bacteria in grew to a respectably sized bowl. So I don't know, like, does it expand?
Why am I when I'm hearing this story, and I'm seeing, I've got a visual of this, and it looks like Martha Stewart from South Park jamming confetti up her vagine, and then
one thing that I wonder about is, what made her think about this? Was there stuff coming out of her that was yogurt looking? Because I'm telling you, if that's the case, there's nothing healthy about that bacteria, and you should go see a real doctor. But let's just finish this up by saying, obviously, after the next day, she had to taste test it.
Oh, Jesus.
Because, I mean, you have to know if it tastes good. So how did the dessert taste, you might ask, John?
Oh, how did the dessert taste, Dawn?
She says it was sour, tangy, and tingly on the tongue. Well, she also ate it with blueberries, in case you wondered.
Oh, Lord.
I'm sure you did.
Okay.
So there you go, John. Breakfast of Champions. I know what you're having tomorrow.
Oh, great. Get to work cooking it up then, Dawn.
Get me the wooden spoon.
Hey, before I cue the music, hey, Dawn, just real quick trivia here. Completely unrelated. Where's WrestleMania this year?
Oh, Buffalo, right? This Sunday?
Cue the music. Inside joke between me and Dawn. Nobody's going to get that one. Nobody's going to get that. It's just me and Dawn. I figured to throw it out there. But, all right, Dawn, a great, successful, abbreviated podcast today. We'll have more as I am completely thrown off by this freaking yogurt story. Like, you just completely, like I said, you drew me in, you brought me in, and now I feel violated.
I think I may never be able to eat yogurt again, to be honest. Thankfully, I really don't like yogurt. So
yogurt's kind of junk, but all right. Dawn, another successful podcast. Thank you, as always, for your contributions, and thank you, listeners, for tuning in and listening and giving us your support through Amazon and the Gear Network app. We do appreciate it, and your support helps us pump out what we can for you. Get Ready America, Better Live Than Dead. We love doing it. We love the fact that you love it, and we will keep doing it so long as you love it. But in any event, this is a copyrighted podcast of the Gear Radio Networks, and any rebroadcast or reproduction without the express written permission of Dr. Humpta there. I don't know what her freaking name was. I don't care. Good times, Don. Without the express written permission of the Gear Radio Networks is strictly prohibited. I would like to thank you again, Don, for your contributions again. Let's close the show. Let's say goodbye. Let's say we'll do it one more time. We'll do it again. Regular schedule, yes, in March, because March, believe it or not only marks a year of our youngest daughter, but it marks a year of Gear. That's right. Gear Network 1 year celebration. Probably
we have to do another all-in.
We might have to, yes. I'm going to have to get everybody together and do an all-in or something like that in the month of March.
Maybe
Celebrate.
we'll get a Vajingo as like a little surprise. It's like a gift.
Well, it's not really a
surprise. Better Live Than Dead. Like a thank you for being part
Now,
of
let me ask you this. Which of the two would you present the gift to?
What? One to each.
Who uses theirs first?
Lewis.
Okay. That was who I was thinking too.
I don't know. Ryan might be pretty lonely at night.
I think I'm calling...
Just polish up the toes.
You know what? Bold prediction here. I think Ryan already has one. On that note, tune into Better Live Than Dead. Maybe he'll tell you. But this is for Dawn. This is John saying, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So long, everybody.
Good night now.
Jesus Christ.
Out of the window, watching the asphalt road, thinking how it all looks anytime. Yeah. Good times, keeping your head above water, making a wave when you can. Temporary layoffs. Good times.
Good Times is recorded on tape before a live audience.
Ain't we lucky we got 'em?
The preceding presentation has been brought to you by the Gear Network.